Hello and welcome to the weekly Kashmir University Video Digest Quest. First, a look at the highlights. Valedictory function of refresher course in behavioral sciences held. Interview with controller examinations. And some important notices of the university. Now the details with your host Beenish. The UGC Human Resource Development Center concluded a 3-week interdisciplinary refresher course in behavioral studies. The valedictory session was presided over by the Dean Academic Affairs, Professor M.A. Vani. Around 32 faculty members from various colleges and universities of J&K participated in it. The aim of the course was to enable the participants to update their knowledge, skills and competencies vis-a-vis influence of various aspects of human behavior on the teaching-learning process, higher education system and research output. Coordinator HRDC Dr. Muhammad Ishaq Gir presented the welcome address.
The purpose of staying together for 3 weeks over here was to invigorate ourselves and update our knowledge, skills and competencies vis-a-vis influence of various aspects of human behavior on the teaching-learning process, higher education system, research output, educational pedagogy, higher education administration and management, and besides many other socio-economic and political concerns. This very goal was achieved by inviting eminent resource persons from the field of psychiatry, clinical psychology, management studies, science and technology, political and social sciences, medicine, law, literature, media and religious studies, in order to interact with the participants on various relevant issues. Invited resource persons were highly experienced academicians of repute whose illustrious careers spanned over several decades. They deliberated upon several topics of interest.
Dean Academic Affairs Professor Vani told the participants that understanding the intricacies of human behavior can make us better human beings.
For becoming a very good family member, उसके लिए बहुत जरूरी है ये. For becoming a good administrator, उसके लिए बहुत जरूरी है ये. For becoming a policy planner, for any situation of life, very important. पहले जिसको ये ह्यूमन बिहेवियर की इंट्रिकेसी मालूम हो, तो पहली बात है कि वो ह्यूमन बनेगा. He will become a human. अगर वो किसी में कोई गलती भी देखेगा, he will not get offended and he will not take it as something personal about the person. He will say that because he knows that there is innate. It is an innate factor. Human being is governed by his or her innate. And therefore, what is important if I say something negative in him, that innate needs to be modified, it needs to be tamed. Rather than we will, make him, we will punish him or her, or we will develop some negative attitude towards the person. It makes one human, because human behavior is the product of innate and the environment.
Professor Vani also stressed on the need of human behavior being taken up as an important subject so that one can have innovative and skilled scientists.
कि जितना human behavior पर, जितनी इसकी फिलॉसफी और जितनी इसकी साइंस पर आप बात कर लेंगे, उतना ये सब्जेक्ट जो है तशना रहेगा एंड इतना इतनी इसकी और जरूरत है फॉर बिकमिंग गुड प्रोडक्टिव मेंबर्स ऑफ सोसाइटी एंड ऑल्सो बिकमिंग वेरी गुड सोशल साइंटिस्ट आर साइंटिस्ट. अगर आपको इनोवेटिव साइंटिस्ट बनना है, अगर आपको इनोवेटिव सोशल साइंटिस्ट बनना है, तो ज्यादा से ज्यादा इस ह्यूमन स्पीशी और ह्यूमन सोसाइटी, इस कम्प्लेक्स ह्यूमन सोसाइटी की लॉजिक को, इसकी साइंस को, इस फिलॉसफी को ज्यादा से ज्यादा समझ लीजिए. देन एंड देन अलोन यू कैन बिकम एन इनोवेटिव in your approach or innovative in your treatment to the subjects of your concern.
Director HRDC Professor Mohyuddin Sanghni in his address said that we are living in a time where the speed of learning new things and unlearning older things will determine the future of societies.
If we take the definition of illiteracy from Alvin Toffler says in 21st century the person would be considered as illiterate who does not know how to unlearn and how to relearn. We were thinking about if we are electronically illiterate, if we are not computer literate, that we are illiterate. No. Thing is that we are moving to a knowledge society in such a fast pace that in knowledge society, lot of knowledge explosions are coming day in and day out. Once this happens, that means there's no other way but to unlearn lot of things, major things, and to relearn major things. If we are in a position to keep pace with the relearning process, as teachers, as adults, as members of the society, and if our organizations are matching their capacities with the new environment which is taking shape, and if the nations are in a position to compete at the fast changing scenario, then those organizations, those nations, and those individuals would be successful in future, because that is the prediction of the futurologists.
Head, Department of Psychology, Dr. Shaukat Ahmed Shah, who was also the course coordinator, highlighted the role of intellectuals in bringing a positive outlook among the people.
Our responsibility as intellectuals are to deal with the problems society is facing. And in that context, the role of the Sir Margoob in developing the center, which earlier was simply referred as Pagal Khana, then how he tried in converting it into an advanced center. That he also highlighted here, and that also is eye-opening for we people, that people when try to do something they can do. It is not at individual level, we can do also a lot of things.
Due to unfavorable conditions in summer 2016, classwork and examinations of undergraduate and postgraduate courses were disrupted. Undergraduate students lost a lot of time, and when the Quest team talked to some students, they said they are confused as to when and how the degrees will be completed.
I want to know from the university that what will they do with our semesters, because we have lost a lot of time in 2 semesters. The semester which should have taken only 1 year to complete 2 semesters, it took 2 years to complete 2 semesters. So we still have 4 semesters to go. And what will happen to that? Because we have lost almost 1 year.
We are told that our 3rd semester exam will be held in March 2017, and for that purpose e-tutorials have been uploaded by the university of different subjects, uploaded by different colleges. So 40-50% of the tutorials, they are sufficient. We can go through them for some guidance, but 60% of the tutorials, I won't say that they are not up to the mark, but we have to struggle through them because of some reasons, as it's obvious that tutorials can't replace the classwork when you go to college and attend our classes. So tutorials can't replace that. So what is university thinking about that? Because it's only a 1 month for our examination, and tutorials are not enough, so that we can't get enough material out of them to appear in our exams in March.
And the university now has said that they will give the duration of our semesters 2 months. It's like a kind of a rumor that they will complete our 4 semesters in 2 months each. So how will they do this? Because we have a lot of syllabus in each semester. So how will they gonna complete all the syllabus in just 2 months for each semester?
We would like to know from the university some guidelines, if they could provide us what we should write in the paper so that we score well. That would be really good, because we don't know what we are supposed to write and we don't know what they're expecting from us, so that we can score well in our exams.
We would like to have an active communication with university so that our queries should be answered properly and immediately, because these queries should be answered immediately.
In response to the queries received from the students, the Quest team also talked to the Controller of Examinations, Professor Abdul Salam Butt, to clear the confusions of the students about the pending examinations and the tentative duration of the course. Here are a few excerpts of the interview. Basically, we're conducting this interview in response to queries from some undergraduate students who were enrolled in 2015, and their exams and semesters were delayed, firstly due to floods and then due to unfavorable conditions, and now due to weather conditions. So those students want to know what measures is university taking so that their degree is completed on time.
Continuously, if we go on taking the classes for all semesters, remaining semesters 3rd to 6th, what will happen? The degree which is supposed to be completed in early 18, it will stretch and will be completed during 2019. As I said, between the two objectives, Whether the degree has to be completed during the stipulated time, this should be the first priority, or there should not be any compromise with the classwork, that should be the first priority. Between the two, we have to take a decision. And given repeated meetings that we have been conducted so far, out of those meetings, one thing has emerged, that is, we must make the completion period of the degree as priority one. Now, in that backdrop, if you look at the new date, this timetable, which we are now circulating, Dean Academic Affairs has already been requested to come up with a notification, and shortly this notification will go to the colleges, students will come to know, colleges will come to know, other stakeholders will come to know. What we are proposing, that during this year, instead of 2 semesters, there will be 3 semesters, academic wise as well as examination wise. Now, what we are doing there, that if the semester usually say should consist of 4.5 months, let its duration be reduced to some extent, say by around 1 month, so that it concludes during 3.5 months. It will allow us to complete 3 semesters instead of 2, so that the last semester, that is the 6th semester, its examination should be in the month of March. If that happens, let's assume that it picks up, then the degree completion will be affected by not more than 2 to 3 months.
So the third semester exam, you're saying that you'll be conducting it in March only, and that will be without classwork. There will be no classwork for those students, and they'll have to rely just on the e-tutorials.
To some extent, with regard to academics, we try to compensate it by way of providing e-tutorials. Now, the e-tutorial exercise was followed up by a backup, where the students had the access to the faculty, whether at the college level or at the university level, so that at least the technical terms or the technical things which a student finds difficult to read or to comprehend himself or herself, at least there is some source by way of the faculty. And we directed the college teachers, the university faculty also, that after these e-contents are e-loaded, please we remain available. Wherever there are some queries, whether telephonically or face-to-face discussions, the students should be helped to the largest possible extent. That exercise is going on. It started in early October, it still continues.
So you mean the university is going to complete the rest of the 3 semesters with classwork in just 1 year. Do you think the university will be able to do that in time?
There will be classwork for those. Classwork, there is only 1 semester, that is this 3rd semester. There we are constrained, we just can't take the regular classes. But for other semesters, there will be reduced classwork, but classwork will be there, and this reduction will not be substantial. It is going to be mild. Because we must at least feel assured that 3.5 months are sufficient to do justice with the contents of the class, different courses which have to be taught during a particular semester. Let us assume that everything is smooth. We don't have any turmoil. We don't have any weather-related problems. Then there will be regular classwork. All right. Now, one is that classwork is there after the completion of 3.5 months. That is more than 100 days.
I wasn't talking about the classwork. I'm talking about conducting examinations and everything.
Yes. Now, there we are facing challenge. Challenge in the sense that we have to conduct 3 semesters. This is on the one side. And second, we have launched 2 semester schemes, one during 2015 and second during 2016. So one does not match with another. All right. I can understand my limitations there, but we are determined that we will face this challenge and we will face this challenge successfully.
So the students also have some queries about the evaluation system of the university, and they want to know, are there some kind of guidelines and what betterment in exams are you doing so that the evaluation is transparent?
In each paper, 50% of the questions are objective. Now, this is directly related to the issue of this evaluation. Now, if the question 50% marks are directly based on objective questions, and that every student knows what his or her score is going to be. Clear? Then out of another 50%, almost 30% questions are descriptive, but of that nature, where student is also assured that how many marks the student is going to get. For instance, there are 4 very short type of answer, short question type answers, where the answer is not expected to be more than 1 or 2 sentences. Now, within 1 or 2 sentences, students could be either correct or incorrect. So discretion, if at all there is discretion, we admit that discretion is there. It is globally a problem.
So another question is that with the delay of exams in the final semesters of the undergraduate courses, will there be a delay in the university entrance examinations?
Third year examination has already picked up. Okay. Some papers have been postponed. Even if it takes us full month of Feb to complete this, despite that, entrance examination will be on time and there won't be delay so far as the new admission is concerned. But suppose examination is successfully completed during Feb. Before mid-March the result will be out. And once the examination is over, third year examination, we need not start for the result declaration, we will immediately start with the entrance examination. I believe this time there won't be a large gap between the completion of third year examination and the start of this entrance examination. Yeah.
Sir, on the organizational level, how are you able to cope up with all the pressure that has been built because of conducting so many examinations together?
Other initiatives which we have taken, and those initiatives will help us to reduce the time. For instance, one more initiative. We have created the institution of nodal colleges. 10 nodal colleges have been, and other colleges, they have been made, they have been aligned with those nodal colleges. One important advantage of these nodal colleges is that these colleges have helped us in creating the question bank. Now the advantage of the question bank is that we have not to search for individual setters. Now searching for individual setters in case of a major examination like undergraduate, where we have right now plus 75 subjects. Now even if only 4 or 5 setters are late, that will delay the whole exercise. Now with the question bank concept which is now emerging, it will take much time to fully develop it, but it has picked up, it has started.
Now some important notifications from the university. The entrance test for admission to 3-year integrated PhD programs shall be conducted by deans of the concerned faculties in 2nd or 3rd week of February. Applications are invited from the eligible candidates for admission to 3-year Bachelor of Vocation programs sanctioned by the UGC to the University of Kashmir under the Deen Dayal Upadhyay Kaushal Kendra from the academic session 2016 in the specifications given below, offered through the Directorate of Lifelong Learning, University of Kashmir. Automotive technology, electronic media, plumbing, furniture development. Interested candidates with minimum 10+2 qualifications can apply by 15th of February 2017. The last date for receipt of online application forms for admission to B.Ed course session 2016-18 through private colleges dated December 17, 2016 has been extended up to 10th February 2017. The Human Resource Development Center is going to conduct a special winter school refresher course from 15th Feb. The interested teachers, scientists from colleges, universities, agriculture universities and NITs with 2 or more than 2 years of continuous teaching experience are eligible for this course. The contractual ad hoc temporary teachers with continuous 3 years teaching experience from UGC affiliated universities, colleges are also eligible for the said course. The interested teachers can register themselves by 6th February. With this, we come to the end of today's program. In case you have missed some part of the program, you can log on to emmrckashmir.com where you can watch the whole episode. Send us your suggestions at our email address quest@emmrckashmir.com. Before I take your leave, here are a few words of wisdom. Let us remember, one book, one pen, one child, and one teacher can change the world.